Hello, welcome to this Ethical Persuasion Leader webinar. Ethical Persuasion Leader. 3 words that can be surprising when they are put together, because most of the people think that persuasion has nothing to do with ethics, when in fact everything you do in your life, each time you share some ideas, you talk to someone, you are driving some decision, you are trying to persuade them, and you do that from most of the time very honestly, very candidly, so you try to be ethical. So why is it that people think that persuasion has nothing to do with ethics? It's wrong. If it's not doing ethically, then it's called manipulation, it's called influence, you can call it as you want. But persuasion can be very ethical, and we're going to see why and how. Why did I put ethical persuasion leader? Because you will see that when you do persuasion properly, you become a leader. People want more from you. And as such, you also have to be ethical, because you have to respect these people. You have to care about these people. I mean, I didn't start persuasion just for the fun and for the sake of it and say that, ooh, Thomas is now the persuasion guy, you should listen to. No, I mean, I started my career as an engineer in informatics and computer science, and I got a master in artificial intelligence and wrote my PhD in the area of artificial neural networks, which are mathematical models that emulate functions of the brain. So I've always had that passion for that thing we have in between our 2 ears, and that we don't use that much most of the time. And then over my career, I moved over to marketing, worked for numerous international companies, big companies, medium companies. I also founded my own company, so being an entrepreneur is definitely something I know about, and I'm still an entrepreneur, by the way. And with all that, at one stage of my career, I ended up meeting the guys from the first neuromarketing agency, neuromarketing being using neuroscience to improve marketing, sales, and strategy, and I became a certified instructor of that agency. So, as you can see, I have quite some experience when it comes to talking about the brain, how to use the brain to drive persuasion. And in fact, I founded the Ethical Persuader early 2019, end of 2018. The idea came end of 2018, and so that started. So the Ethical Persuasion Leader is a 5 steps program, 5 steps. The first one is find your who. Who are you? This is a very important question. Can you answer that question? I mean, if I meet you on the street and I ask you, who are you? You are going to tell me I'm Thomas. I say, well, no. Thomas is your first name. It was given to you by your parents. So think about it. Who are you? You may be thinking, they say, I'm Thomas Trautmann. So no, a family name is an heritage from your family. You're carrying your family name over for ages. From one generation to the next one. So that's not you. It's not defining who you are. So who are you? Or you may say, oh, I'm a consultant. I'm a coach. I'm an engineer. I'm this, I'm that. I'm a CEO. I'm an entrepreneur. That's just a title. That's not who you are. Who are you? That's the very first step of the 5 steps from the Ethical Persuasion Leader program, is really so that you understand who you are. And if you stay to the end, I will give you a link to a tool I've developed that will help you analyze up to now what were you doing with your who. Are you really who you are? Do you really know who you are? Or are you just wearing that costume society wants you to wear, because you're a CEO, maybe as a CEO you have to wear a suit and a tie and look very, very bright and so on, when in fact you are the most kind person existing on earth. So there are a lot of things like that. Who are you? Try to think who you are, and you won't get that answer very quickly. It takes time. It takes a lot of time. Trust me, it takes a lot of time. So that's the very first step. Who are you? The second step is to help you understand why are you doing what you are doing. Why is very important too. Well, who is going to help you define who you are? Because when you are true to yourself, people are going to resonate with you because they're going to trust you. And inside of the brain, trust is handled by a molecule called oxytocin, and that has been discovered by a guy called Paul Zak. So raising trust implies that you are true. I mean, look at yeah, we would like to trust politicians or people like that, and we perfectly know that we cannot trust these guys because, first of all, they don't know who they are. They know who they want to be or what image they want to carry, but they don't know who they are. And I have met so many people, really great people, not politicians, great people, you know, who didn't know who they are and weren't happy in their lives. They were following a path that was defined by others, so it wasn't them. So knowing who you are is very important, and that who you are is going to drive that second step, as I said, which is the why, which is the why creator. You have to create your why. The advantage of having a why is that you're going to tell a story. And stories are super important on the brain, on your brain, but also on the brain of your audience, on the brain of the people you want to persuade. Because the brain stores information thanks to stories, because it converts stories to metaphors. So that's the first thing. When you tell a story to the brain feels trust. Because think about it, when you come Monday morning in the office, for example, or when you meet a group of people, are you going to tell what happened during the weekend to the one guy you hate most? Of course not. You are going to tell your story to the person you like most, or to the group of people you like and you trust. Because yes, telling a story to someone shows to that person that you trust that person. And that's exactly what that person wants. And that's what will make them listen to you. So when you have a why, you can tell about your why. The other advantage of the story is that a story allows you to hijack the brain in front of you. Because you can take the decision maker in the brain, which by the way is this part of the brain, the primal brain. It has nothing to do with the rational brain. Forget it. It has been scientifically proven that none of our decisions are made by our rational brain. They are all made by our primal brain. So if you tell a story properly, you take that brain wherever you want. So let me give you an example. I will ask you to close your eyes. If you're in a place where you can do it now. I will ask you, please close your eyes. Now imagine that in front of you on the table there is a lemon and there is a knife. I ask you to take the knife and cut the lemon, slice the lemon in two parts. Now put the knife back on the table. Take the lemon in one hand, get it close to your nose. Smell that lemon. Can you smell that juicy lemon? It's nice, it's yellow, and it smells like lemon. Now I want you to get it closer to your mouth and bite in the lemon. Bite in the lemon and suck the juice of the lemon. Now drink the juice of the lemon. Okay, you can open your eyes. So tell me, is your mouth watering right now? Yes, it is. Because your primal brain, I just told your primal brain that you are eating a lemon, and a lemon makes you water your mouth because it's a lot of acid in the juice. You see, I hijacked your brain. By telling stories, you hijack the brain, and by telling a good story and with a good punchline, you persuade people to make the decision they want. And that story has to be connected to something very important that's coming in step 3. The third step of the 5 steps of the ethical persuasion leader is called the persuasion formula. The persuasion formula is that formula I've created that summarizes in one simple formula everything you have to maximize to reach maximum ethical persuasion. The persuasion formula is very simple. It states that persuasion is a function of the frustration of your who, your why, and your tribe. So you already understand why you need to have a who, to be sure of who you are, because who you are is what's going to drive everything. You now understand why you need to have a why. And in the 4th step, I will tell you even more about that why and all the steps that are coming to during this webinar. The first step of the persuasion formula is called the frustration. It's not your frustration. You cannot persuade someone ethically if you don't understand what subconscious frustration is driving them. Yeah, what in hell is a subconscious frustration? With Thomas, when I want to motivate my team to do something, I just tell them, do this. I don't ask them to make the decision to do it. Well, they still have to make the decision. They also have to make the decision to still believe in you, trust you, follow you, and not go kill your reputation in your back. Or when you're selling something to someone, you say, oh, but Thomas, I'm selling for ages. I'm a good salesman, you know. I come with my catalog, I show them my products, and they buy something. Yeah, but how many times do you have to give them a rebate? How many times do you have to give them a free trial period? How many times do you have to run after new clients because they are bleeding? You are bleeding clients all the time because they don't stay. They are not recurrent customers. All this is happening because you are trying to persuade the rational part of the brain, because you are always taught that decision driving is about being rational. It's about coming with your products, with your catalogs, services, and so on. Say, dear sir, dear madam, I am Thomas. I'm coming from Happy Brains. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. You should buy this. This is the price. How much do you want? Yeah, 50%. I give you 50%, and so on and so forth. No, you have to talk to a subconscious frustration. I mean, I can tell you a personal story. Now you know why stories are so important, but really it's a story. It's a personal story so that you understand frustration. When my wife was pregnant with our third son, we decided to change the car. We needed a bigger car. 3 boys, 2 dogs, and so on and so forth. So rationally, we listed all the features we wanted. Rationally, we went on the internet and checked all the cars that were fulfilling our rational list of requirements. Rationally, we took appointments at the local dealerships to test drive these cars. And at one dealership, we test drove the optimal car, came back, and as I am a man, I saw another car. I said, can I drive that one, please? Can I test it? Of course, yes, sir. Here are the keys. Go on. When I came back, that's the car I wanted to buy. It wasn't rational. It was more expensive than the other one. It was doing exactly the same thing. It was more expensive. So I spent 1 month rationally convincing myself and convincing my wife that this was the car we should buy. So as the dealer didn't use ethical persuasion and went to rational persuasion, the first thing I did was I asked him for a rebate. I said, can you give me a rebate? So, of course, as it was in Switzerland, they don't give rebates. So he didn't give me a rebate. What did I do? I went to some other dealerships and asked them for a rebate. And I got 25%. So what's happened? By doing rational selling, these guys lost margin, and a lot. It may not be about price, it may be about you giving more of your time, you giving more samples, tests, trials, stuff like that. So that's painful for you. That's painful for you. And it's painful for them because they have to fight to get this thing. Because when the brain makes a decision, it needs to feel that it gains something, because making that decision is super painful. So the brain needs to gain something, and when you do it rationally, because you don't remove that frustration, it goes for money. It goes for your resources. Now, you're going to say, okay, Thomas, is very nice, but I still don't get the difference between rational and primal selling. First of all, let me tell you that it has been demonstrated scientifically 16 years ago without any doubt that now the decision process is well known, and it has been demonstrated that the decision maker is not the rational brain, it's the primal brain. And there is a guy who got his Nobel Prize in economics for that in 2011. The guy is called Daniel Kahneman, and he was a teacher at the university, and he was doing sales for 60 years, and he said, I was wrong for the last 60 years because he was doing rational selling. So the decision process is a bottom-up process. You make a primal decision and then you rationalize it. That has been scientifically demonstrated. So rational and primal selling, the difference. Let me give you an example. You are selling, let's say you are selling drill machines. So people who buy drill machines, let's don't talk about fetishists or collectors, but people who buy drill machines, when they come, a rational sales guy would say, okay, dear sir, this drill machine is green, it runs with 12,000 RPMs, it comes with 2 spare batteries, and you get all the accessories with it for free. The first thing you are going to say is, okay, but the orange one there is 50 euros less. Why can't I get the orange one? So he may sell you the orange one, but he's losing margin. That's rational selling. You go as a client to get something. So you try to save money. Primal selling. Dear sir, I understand that you have to put that painting that your stepmom painted or the picture of the kids that your wife is asking you to get on the wall for ages now. With that drill machine, that painting or photo will be on the wall in 5 seconds, tops. What is this guy going to do? He's going to buy it. And then you add, and once done, your wife will thank you, and she may even leave you alone so that you can watch your game or the Formula 1 or whatever. In one very simple sentence, he addressed the frustration, the subconscious frustration. Because yes, rationally he's going to say, yeah, I have to put that thing on the wall, but I want a drill machine that's pretty cool, you know, that goes through this type of material, blah, blah, blah. It's not his frustration. He just wants to get his wife off his back. That's a subconscious frustration. And that's what you're going to learn in the persuasion, the ethical persuasion leader system. So it's very important. Now the persuasion formula, as you know now, is about the frustration. We know it's a subconscious frustration, your who, your why, and your tribe. So I was saying at the beginning that you may be losing recurring customers. You may be bleeding clients. You may have to run after clients. Or you may have to run after so many things to get new clients or decisions, or that your team is motivated. In fact, the last parameter of the persuasion formula relates to something that's deep inside our brain. That's called the societal structure. The societal structure of the human species. We, the Homo sapiens sapiens, the smartest evolution of our species, and for sure the last one, we are a tribal species. We live in tribes. Our family is a tribe. Our work colleagues, our division is a tribe. The soccer team we support or we play with is a tribe. We have many tribes. We belong to many tribes. We may be part of a tribe, we may be a follower in a tribe, and we may be a leader of a tribe. If you want to drive ethical persuasion, you have to be the leader. That's why this whole system is called the ethical persuasion leader. Once you understand the frustration of the people you have, once you are true to yourself and have your who, understand who you are, once you have a why they can relate to, then they will join your tribe. They will want to get more and more and more from you. They are going to see you as the tribe leader, and the tribe leader is the one who gets the tribe where the tribe needs to be. The very big advantage of the tribe leader is that people know him, respect him, like him, love him. And you know what? There is a statistic that's saying that you have 70% of chances to sell to someone who likes you, who trusts you. And you have only 5 to 20% chances to sell to someone who never heard of you. So look at that. You put people in your tribe and they're going to resonate with you and they want more from you. And because they're part of your tribe, they trust you. And as such, they like you. So they will buy more from you. They will follow you more. I mean, as a leader of a group at work, for example, you're a manager, having your guys become part of a tribe, and they're going to kill to be part of you. Let me give you some examples of very powerful tribes when it comes to the business world. Do you know the brand Harley Davidson? Of course you know it. It's a motorcycle brand. Look at bikers. How many of them have Harley Davidson tattooed on their body? Yes, they put their brand on their skin for the whole life. Tell me, if you're in a major company or if you have a nice logo so on, how many of your clients have your logo tattooed on their arms, on their butt, wherever? Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, I'm a tribe builder, and I haven't seen anyone telling me, Thomas, it's so cool, we have the Happy Brains brand tattooed on us. No, not even I have my own logo tattooed on myself. So see how powerful Harley Davidson is, because they got people to tattoo the brand on their skin. And you know what's the benefit of that? Because you're part of the tribe, because of many Harley bikers are part of a tribe. So average-wise, a motorcycle in Europe is in the Harley, the Davidson motorcycle, is in the range of 15,000 to 20,000 euros. And in average, Harley-Davidson customers spend 9,000 euros more to buy stuff that connects them to the tribe. T-shirts, jackets, even stuff for the dog, for the lady, for the kids and so on, for the motorcycle. Wouldn't that be nice for you? Because that's the beauty of a tribe. You create recurring buyers. They're going to keep coming to you for more, and more. Isn't that cool? Of course it's cool. Look at Apple. When Apple launched the iPod and the iPhone, they had white earplugs with the white cord. You know? And they even had an ad. You could only see a silhouette of a person and that white cord. And you were belonging to the tribe of the people who are cool. Tribes are so powerful that if I get you guys, let's say you are working in a division inside of a company. The division has 20 people. All those people work together, enjoy working with each other. You are a tribe, because the guys from the other division, they are not performing as well as you. Well, yeah, you don't like them that much, you know. They are not a tribe. But if I take your tribe now, we go on an offsite. I split your tribe, 10 people here, 10 people there. I call these 10 the red ones, I call these 10 the blue ones. Look what happens. You become two new tribes who are ready to fight to kill the other tribe. Metaphorically speaking, of course. But then I get you guys after all the sports, all the group building exercise at lunch, and look at how people are going to try. First of all, you're going to sit the good, the blue, and the reds together, and then you're going to say, "Yeah, we were better than you. Well, we did this better than that," and so on. The next morning, you are back in the division. You are again a new tribe. That's how powerful tribes are, and that's why the tribe is the fourth pyramid of the persuasion formula. So again, the persuasion formula is that persuasion is a function of the frustration, subconscious frustration, of your who times your why, and of your tribe. So this is what the third step of the ethical persuasion leader is about. The fourth step is called the how. Is how are you going to do things? So it's a new highway to get where you want to be. You have the why, now you have the how. And then we're going to see that you are going to add, the fifth step is about the what. But the how is about how are you going to make your why become true. I mean, the why, how, what comes from a guy called Simon Sinek. He calls it a golden circle. And he demonstrated that any company that started with a why and then went through a how and then implemented what was successful, while every company that started with a what had a how and then did it for a reason, didn't succeed at all. And even some companies who started with a why changed their way of thinking, they collapsed, and when the guy came back and built the why again, it worked. So in step number 5, I'm going to come back to this. So step number 4, it's about your how. How are you going to make things happen? I mean, my why is about making people smile. You know, a genuine smile. Because when you smile, when you move your face like that, you know, just like you are doing now because you see me smile, and that's using your empathy to do that. It's playing with your brain again. When I do that, I reward my brain, my own brain, with a hormone called endorphins. And that molecule makes my brain feel even better. So for myself, it's a virtual circle. Now, when I smile and I get you to smile, you know, because I'm happy, I'm feeling good, I want you to feel good, then you are smiling too. The same thing happens in your brain. It feels good. So in fact, I'm selling you drugs right now. And it's free because it's in your brain. And the more you smile, the more people are going to smile, and the more our children will smile, and the better place the world will be. That's my why. How am I doing that? I mean, I could be a clown. I could be an actor. I have decided to be a consultant and a coach teaching ethical persuasion and the ethical persuasion leader system to you. So it's how I do things. So you have to understand your how. And as I said, the 5th step of the ethical persuasion leader program is about your what. What are you going to do? So you can be inside of a company that has already a what, that has products, but maybe you can change that. Or maybe your what, that what is not matching your how and the why of the company. Let me give you an example of the golden circle. Now that we know that we need to have the why, the how, the what. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was really tired of having to buy a CD to listen to each piece of music he wanted to listen to. He was tired to see his daughter with her Walkman and always rewarding for fast forwarding, rewinding and so on to listen to the same piece of music she liked. So he decided that from now on, why am I going to do what I do? Because I want people, I, Steve Jobs, want people to listen to the piece of music they want when they want, without having to buy the whole album. How did he do that? He went to every music major and told them, guys, from now on, Apple is no more going to buy the whole CD or the whole album. We are going to buy each piece of music separately. You like it or you don't like it. If you don't like it, no problem. I take my millions of customers with me and I go see somewhere else. That's the how. What? The what was iTunes and the iPod. There is another brand, a pretty well-known brand, by the way, on the market. It was called Dell. Dell had an MP3 player at the same time. Did you know it? Nope, no one knows. I'm not even sure that the Dell people know it and still know it. They did it the way around. They said, what are we going to do? Ooh, that seems to work. Let's make an MP3 player. How? We have all those productions line on which we can produce computers. Pretty easy cheesy. We just produce those things on there. But why are we doing that? Well, to make money. Because we can have our machines running all the time and we can sell it through our channels, and so we are making an awful lot of money because the other guy is doing the same thing. And no one remembers that Dell had an MP3 player, or maybe some collectors somewhere in the mountains. So you see how important it is to have your how and then your what. So what is very often, and that's the fifth stage, you know, is the they buy you kit. You know, it's they buy you because they resonate with who you are, with your why. They like how you do it, and the what becomes the souvenir they have of you. Let's put it that way, right? Because no sale is ever made in relationship with a product, because that product you can buy it somewhere else. I'm sorry, you may feel unique, but I'm for sure that you are not alone on your market. I'm even working with a client. They invented a part of the market, but they are not alone. You are not alone very long, you know? So you're never alone. You have to be the first one. You have to be the best one. You have to create contrast, because that beast here needs contrast. It filters out a lot of information. In fact, it receives 10 million bits of information per second and can only handle 50 bits per second. Yeah, it filters out a huge amount of information it doesn't care about. It doesn't even want to know about. I mean, it's like when you get into a room, there is fresh paint. You smell the fresh paint. What happens after 2 minutes? You no more smell that paint, right? Well, guess what? The paint is still there. The molecules are still in the air. Your nervous cells in the nose are getting those molecules, but your brain is saying, I have that information. I no more need it. He filters that information out. Your brain kills that information. And during the ethical persuasion leader system trainings and coaching sessions, you go through all this way more than what we are doing here. But anyway, let me keep going. So people buy you. I mean, there's a good example. If you go for people, companies that have account managers, or for example, if you're an entrepreneur, people are buying from you. You have this specific relationship with your clients, or the account manager has that relationship with his accounts. And one day, as an entrepreneur, you have to hire a salesperson, for example, or someone is going to help you. So as you're very busy, you transfer your clients to this person, and your sales are going down, and your clients are leaving. It's still the same product, it's still the same company, and that guy is not bad. He's a very good salesperson, or that new account manager is not bad, he's a very good account manager. What's going on? It's just going on that the clients do not resonate with the person. Because yes, ethical persuasion is about human beings. I mean, that thing here is inside a human being. You are not selling to a company. In B2B, you may think so. No, you are selling to a group of these things that make decisions. So it's all human to human. Ethical persuasion is human to human. As long as you don't get this, you will never become the ethical persuasion leader. When you do it naturally, it becomes so easy. It becomes natural because you become a human being again. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I even last time traveled through an airport, you know, and went to the rental car booth. And guess what? After having spent some time with the guy, without even wanting him to do that, he offered me to give me how do you say that? To give me a nicer, bigger car, and that was even the car that was parked at the VIP parking, because he didn't want me to work through the whole airport to get a rental car. I didn't ask for it. I was just being human. It's about humanity. Get the humanity you have hidden inside of you out. That's the first step of the ethical persuasion leader. It's about the who. The second step is helping for that. It's about your why. The third step is putting together those things inside the persuasion formula. The fourth step of the persuasion, the ethical persuasion leader system, is about your how. And the fifth step is about your what. So once you have the 5 steps of the ethical persuasion leader, that's what you are going to become. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't an ethical persuasion leader before. I didn't even know that I was a tribe leader. Because, I mean, persuasion for me was largely influenced by things that happened when I was a child. My mom was pretty sick. In fact, my mom was an alcoholic, so I guess she was that for years. But I discovered it. I still remember she was looking at my brother and I in the bathtub. You know, we're having fun, and my mom tried to put her hand on the side of the bathtub, and she missed it, and she collapsed on the ground. So yeah, I was a teenager. My brother, my younger brother, was younger. Of course, he's 4 years younger, so he I guess he get it differently. But anyway, so my dad came in, helped my mom, ambulance came, and so on. And that's the day my dad told us that yes, mom was pretty sick, so she will be in and out for quite some time. We expected that it would heal. It never healed, so she died of that somehow. So be careful if you drink too much. But anyway, so yes, so my dad took things over. So he was a CEO of a company. He was made CEO of a company, so he was working his butt off to make his family safe. And yeah, I saw my dad as someone, you know, was really moving forward very, very strongly. So for me, it was that, you know, it was, I was looking for acknowledgement. Mom was not more there. Dad wasn't there all the time. He was very, very, very strict to make things happen. I mean, he had to. So I looked for acknowledgement. I mean, I was even in a boarding school. Well, at first I had to go to a boarding school because, of course, mom wasn't at home, dad wasn't, so they couldn't let the teenager alone. Too dangerous. And I even asked to keep going to that boarding school when over the last years, till I was 18, we were living a few hundred meters away from the school. I had friends who were living 10, 20 kilometers away who were not at the boarding school, who were just coming for the lectures, you know. Because that, and now I understand it, that was a tribe, you know. My mates in the same room as we were a tribe, and a bloody good one. So that's why I started to look for acknowledgement. And then I went through my studies. I mean, I always try to look for acknowledgement, even when I talked about it for my kids yesterday. Teachers said I shouldn't go for that grade when I was at school for the diploma. I think in the US they call it high school. You know, when you're 18, in French they call it the baccalaureate. So I went for the mathematical physics one because I wanted to become a computer engineer because I was fond of computers. They said no, but I wanted to prove to everyone and get acknowledged that I could get it. So I got I think 262 points when you need 260, so it was just on the red line. But well, I made it. I got acknowledged. Then I became a diploma engineer student. I went for 5-6 years of studies and got the best grades possible because that was important, you know, to show to my dad that I got that. I'm not sure if mom was still conscious of what was going on, but yeah. So, and then I got a job. Then I wanted to be a project manager for start of a career and get more money. And then my career started like that, you know, title and career. And then that's when I stopped my career, so to say, to write my PhD thesis. I was the first Trautmann on this family, you know, having a PhD. They're important for me. And that's the first time, by the way, that my dad acknowledged what I was doing and said, "Oh, son, I'm very proud of you." So it's acknowledgement, title, and I kept going on with jobs, with titles, with money, 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 and jobs and titles and titles. I even became an entrepreneur because I created something where I could be a tribe leader and at the same time have acknowledgement. And I was poor like hell. I mean, my wife and I, we burn our money in this adventure, but you have to pay to learn, as they say. But yeah, funny enough, I was acknowledged by other entrepreneurs, my wife too, but not by our family. And yeah, so the acknowledgement was wrong. I couldn't get it because I didn't look at who I was. And I even ended up one day when I was around 40 or something like that, we were living close to the seaside. I walked towards the sea. I went on a jetty and I didn't know if at that time, when I'm standing on that jetty, you know, I don't know if I should keep going in that sea and ending all that story or just sit and think. So that's what I'm doing. I sit and I think about things, and I think I start to get what's wrong is that I need to create a tribe. You know, I was always happy in the past when I was part of a tribe and when I was able to lead that tribe. And the jobs I had, you know, I was always very sad when I left people. You know, when I moved to something else or when I handed my project to someone else. So I'm here sitting on that beach and say, okay, now let's stop this entrepreneurship thing. It's not working because Thomas, yes, you are with your wife, but you're alone. And your clients, yeah, they're part of a tribe because I was organizing motorcycle tours, high-end motorcycle tours. And so nice tribes, you know. And I was the leader because I was driving the group each time. But no, it wasn't what I thought it was. So I said, okay, what I need is really professional acknowledgement and the tribe at the same time. I found a job, CMO job. So here I am in my car traveling around Switzerland and Germany because the sites where I had to work with, I was a CMO at that time, were in the eastern part of the ex-eastern Germany and north of Germany, and I was based in the north of Switzerland. So I was driving all the time, and during those long driving times I was stressed. I'm stressed, I'm unhappy. So what I'm doing, I call my wife and I vent my frustration to my wife. And well, she is patient because she listens to it and she tries to find ways to get out of it. So it's keep going and it's keep going and keeps going. So I don't get the acknowledgement because it was a very, very political, it's a very political, uncomfortable place to be. And yeah, no tribe, no real tribe. You know, everyone was working for oneself. So no acknowledgement, no tribe. And I was really, really low. I'm really low at that time. I don't know what I'm going to do and so on. So that's when I met the guys from the neuromarketing part and started to become a neuromarketing certified instructor. So as part of that very special tribe, hey, acknowledgement again. I was one of very few chosen, you know. And I was able to drive smiles because people are learning something. When I'm teaching neuromarketing, people are learning something. But still, it's not what I want because I get the acknowledgement, I think. I'm getting that acknowledgement. I'm teaching people. They're getting something. I'm running projects, super nice projects. I even gave keynotes to more than 1,000 people. But still, something's missing. And that's when I'm talking with my wife and we're talking, I say, well, humanity is missing. You know, when I'm in front of a group doing neuromarketing, first of all, the content is not from me. I'm showing that I know that content, that I'm super smart, you know, because someone else created that content. So I get the acknowledgement. But I'm not creating a tribe which is mine because it's the content of someone else. And neuromarketing is still about, you know, marketing, sales, strategy. So it's about the business, even though you target the brain, but it's still about the business. So that's why I'm talking to my wife and I'm saying, and that word comes out, it's really about humanity. We are missing humanity. And by missing this humanity, yeah, we are losing something. I'm losing a tribe. In fact, who I am, that's when it popped to me. And I had people help me, like, I'm going to help you if you join the Ethical Persuasion Leader program, you know. I had some people help me to find who I am. And to summarize it, I'm a tribe builder. I love to build tribes. I'm a natural leader too, but that's who I am. I love to build tribes and nurture the tribes and be with these tribes. That's the best acknowledgement I can get, is when my clients become my friends, you know, and they call me, they tell me about their family, their everyday life, their vacation, whatever, nothing to do with business. That's also when you call me for the first time, you know, we may talk about you, because I want to listen to hear about you. And that's in fact the offer I'd like to make you. You don't have to pay something. Usual webinars, you know, somewhere, at one stage the guy says, yes, you're going to hear this, 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 and that, that's worth this, 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 and that. I'm giving you a bloody smashing rebate on this. So no, I'm not going to give you any rebate, because I'm not going to sell you anything. I just want to offer you, if you think you are fit to become the Ethical Persuasion Leader, I want to suggest to offer you a free coaching call with me. We'll spend 1 hour on the phone. I cannot take everyone. This is limited to the space in my agenda. I will add the link. The link should appear very soon so that you can book that 1 hour coaching call with me. And I'm going to see how you can become the Ethical Persuasion Leader. We are going to talk about your who, your why, maybe a little slice of persuasion formula, your how and your what. So if you are really interested to become the Ethical Persuasion Leader, you know, grow, learn something, have people follow you because they want to follow you, have people buy from you because they want to buy from you, you know, because your reputation will be stellar, because you will be the Ethical Persuasion Leader. Book your call now. Book your call now. Book your 1 hour coaching with me now. It's free. How many people give you something for free nowadays? Of course, at the end, if you're fit, if you want to move forward, I mean, I have to feed my kids. After that, we may talk about it. Yeah, I know on those webinars, you should never say that you're going to sell something to the people, because that's bad. I don't care. I'm tired of all those webinars looking the same way, right? This is not ethical. I want it to be ethical. So I'm telling you, you get a 1 hour free coaching call with me. And if we see there is a fit, only if there is a fit in between your vision and my vision, then we may want to work together. And that's where we may talk a bit about money. But you will be persuaded at that time. No, anyway, so I'm not going to play tricks because I'm ethical. So again, if you want to book that, that's now. Click now on the button that just appeared and you can book your free coaching call with me. Ethical persuasion, again, is something that works well. I mean, I can give you the example of Alexander. Alexander is a friend of mine. So now you understand that he's a tribe member, he's a client. And he joined a company as a CMO, and that company is in the deepest possible part of the ocean. They created the market and they let all their competition run, stumble on them, you know, jump on them till they were completely down. So inside of the company, people are unhappy. Outside of the company, people are unhappy. They still have some historical clients they keep because they're historical. Moving to someone else is too painful. You know, they cannot make the decision. So we work together, and we use ethical persuasion to increase the motivation inside of the company, to increase the motivation outside of the company. People are making a decision again to work for the company, with the people inside of the company. It's a human thing. Everything we've done is about ethical persuasion, and Alexander now is the leader who drives that. I can tell you, I went to an event with them where the executive committee was there, and they're pretty happy of what he does. He does good, you know, he enjoys it. So yes, guys, that's it. Again, book your call, book your 1 hour free coaching call with me down here. And yeah, that's it. So I thank you for your patience. I thank you for having listened to the 45 minutes. Oh yes, and I will add a link to the document that will help you to understand who you are. It's a swipe file, it's free. Pick it up, work on it. If you have questions, drop me your questions. It will be my pleasure to answer these questions. And I'm looking forward to talking to you during our 1 hour coaching call. Until then, I wish you an excellent end of the day or start of the day, and talk to you very soon. Bye bye.